Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Arrow, or should I call Green Arrow, the premiere. So let's start talking about this episode. What happened? With this episode, we get to see that Oliver, he's happy. These couple of months, he's been in a suburban household, playing, kind of wife and husband with Felicity, and actually wants to propose to Felicity. But on the other side of things, in Star City, yes, Star City, we get to see that Thea, Laurel, and Dig are kind of struggling to save the city. And there's these new enemies called the Ghosts that they can't defeat. And Thea and Laurel decide, alright, we're going to go ask Ollie to help us. We kind of need the help. So Oliver comes back, he's a little hesitant, he's like, I don't really want to do this, but he finds out that Felicity's been helping them behind his back, and Oliver's like, oh, okay, so you want this, and she's like, yeah, I want to help our friends, and I want to be here, this is our home, and Oliver's like, alright, you're right, let's stay here, and he ends up being the Green Arrow and staying to be the Green Arrow, and they all counter Damien Darhk. We learn a little bit about him. He has some magical stuff going on, mystic stuff. We don't really know the full extent of his powers, but he is involved with Hive, and the big thing that happened in the end of this is that Quentin is involved with Hive. Who knew that would happen? Did not see that coming. And then the big cliffhanger of the season premiere, and I would say season, is that someone's gonna die, and it's gonna be Oliver's fault. And he's like, "Oh well, I shouldn't have went into the darkness. I have to be somebody else. This is not working." So it's pretty much the same Oliver, but someone's dead now, and maybe this will propel him even more to the Green Arrow we know in the comics. So what did I think about this episode? I like the episode. I definitely like the episode. It's definitely a setup episode, though. Even though there were some good cliffhangers in the end, it's very much a setup. Let's talk about the flashbacks, because, I still don't like them. It's still, alright, I get they're connecting it to Hive, they're connecting it to Argus with Amanda Waller. They're doing all that. You're seeing Oliver's becoming a vigilante a little bit in the beginning. He goes back to the island. Still don't care about the flashbacks. So at least it's connecting a bit more. It's definitely better than the Hong Kong flashbacks, but still never feel like they're totally necessary. So that's my opinion on the flashbacks. But the things I loved about this episode was honestly the things that I loved about Season 3, which was Thea and Laurel. Now, Thea's always been my favorite character, and it's really cool to see her as Speedy, and in a weird way, see the likeness of her also. Some of the side jokes she'll make is very Thea. I think it's very, even very Mia Dearden in the comics. So really like that. I like that she's having fun with being a hero. But also there's a darker side of that, because she's having fun beating up people. And Oliver sees that. It's like, oh, you're kind of having a little bit too much fun there. And she's like, no, I don't really know what you're talking about. I'm just trying to help people. And I think, Will Holland's a great actress, and you can kind of see in her facial expression in that scene. It's like, yeah, I kind of do have a secret. Something is worrying me, but I'm not really going to say it now, so I really enjoyed that scene. And yeah, it's awesome to see finally Thea Speedy and her being in most of the episode. It's crazy. Up to this point, Thea's always been a 5-minute character in every episode. Kind of like a Quentin type character where she, she pops in, says a line, and then she walks out. Here, she's really part of the team, and I really enjoyed that. And going back to the scene I was talking about, I love that they're all in their civvies, but still doing the hero work. So I enjoyed that. That was very superhero comic booky, and I do think the show turned into more of a comic book show with this episode. I do agree with that. Like the civvy scene, even kind of the suburban scene kind of felt like when a comic relaunches and they, like a Green Arrow comic. You get a new Green Arrow series, and it relaunches where there's a new status quo, and then the hero has to go back in the costume. So that scene actually really felt like a comic to me. So I enjoyed that. This definitely felt like an issue 1. It also felt like the pacing of issue 1 too, because it felt short in many ways. I was like, oh, I kind of want more, but that's why you're gonna come back for next week. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. Yeah, I thought it was more fun. You felt the funness of it, and I think Oliver's becoming a lighter character. He's still not, you know, Green Arrow we know from the comics, you know, cracking jokes, but I think Thea is definitely a good replacement of that, cracking some jokes, and even like Laurel's kind of a lighter side, and then of course you have Diggle, who's kind of this, you know, drags down the storyline, but I think in a good way. When I say that, I guess he's a bit more of the Debbie Downer in a way, but I think you have to have that perspective because, yeah, Oliver lied a lot, you know, Oliver did a lot of things wrong to Diggle, and a lot, you know, Thea and Laurel forgave him because that was their decision, but yeah, it's Diggle's decision not to, because, you know, the whole Ra's al Ghul thing, him lying, that was something big, and it shouldn't be forgotten. So I'm glad Diggle's the character that they're looking at to not forget that. His hat, his helmet, still don't really like it. I guess I'm getting used to it, but don't really like it. I don't think we got his code name in this episode either, so hopefully we'll get that. Maybe it'll be, you know, the Guardian. I don't know what's going to end up being. That's my guess. It was cool to finally get to see the Green Arrow code name. That was awesome. And, yeah, going back to what I loved about this episode, Thea and Laurel. Laurel was really good in this episode. She felt very much like Black Canary, very much like the comic book Black Canary, especially that train scene where she just like kind of looks at the kids like, oh, you know, come with me. It was very Dinah. That was very much a Dinah moment, and I'm glad that she's having kind of a better relationship with her father. At least they could talk about the vigilante stuff, so that was a lot of fun, because Quentin does know everyone's secret identity, so that's a lot of fun. I'm glad they're playing with the secret identities. Hopefully they'll play with that even more as the season continues, especially next episode, because next episode we're supposed to see someone from Thea and Oliver's past come into their lives again, so that'll be cool to see how they balance that, Thea and Oliver with Speedy and Green Arrow. I'm really looking forward to that. And then we already saw like pictures of that, and like I said, I'm really excited. And yeah, so Laurel was great, and now talking about the Olicity stuff, because that's obviously a main part of the episode, I didn't mind it, honestly. I remember in like season 2 I was rooting for Olicity, didn't really like it in season 3. Now season 4, I think they're kind of meeting this middle mark where it's not Felicity like being angry all the time, it's still Felicity being Felicity and kind of being a rock for Oliver, where Oliver has become lighter because of her. So I kind of like the direction the Olicity stuff are going. It's a little lovey-dovey too many times in some moments. They could tone it down a little bit, but overall I think it actually worked for the story more than what they did with season 3, where I thought they kind of pushed it a bit more. And I think it's actually a positive thing for Felicity, so I enjoyed that. So let's start talking about those cliffhanger endings. What did I think about that? Quentin I did not expect, but at the same time at least it gives him a story to do something. You know, he's in Hive. I'm sure it's either because of Sarah or Laurel, either to protect Laurel or probably to protect Sarah because of the whole Constantine thing coming. So yeah, I'm sure, honestly, I think it has something to do with Sarah. So we'll find out with that. And Damien Darhk. Damien Darhk was a great villain, I thought. I really love the actor. He has a lot of suave, and it makes me really interested that this is finally a different type of villain. He has, you know, magic, he has powers. It's something different to Green Arrow. There's definitely a different tone to the episode that I enjoyed. So I enjoyed that, and then that ending, we gotta talk about it. Oh my god. So someone's dead, and it better not be Thea, just saying. She's already died in the last season and came back to life. We're not seeing Thea die again. My guess, I don't think it's Felicity, even though they kind of alluded to that would be Felicity. I don't think it'll be Laurel. I don't think Laurel's going to die on this show. So it could be either Quentin or Diggle. I feel it could be Diggle just because of the way they're playing his character now. Like, you know, they're angry at each other, they'll love each other as, you know, brothers, and then he'll die. You know, I could see that happening. I think it's Diggle, or it could be Quentin, because Quentin's also a character that's kind of playing this line. I don't think it'll be Thea. I hope it's not Thea. So I'm really curious. I don't think it's Felicity because the way Barry was acting, though. Barry would so be more upset, so I wouldn't worry about that. Even though they kind of tricked you with the transition, I don't think it's actually going to be Felicity. But yeah, I thought this episode was pretty decent premiere. I think it's going in a great direction for the season. yeah, I thought it was a fun episode. I can't say it was perfect. I've seen better episodes of Arrow, but this is definitely the direction I want to see with Arrow. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the rest of the season, and that's my opinion on the season premiere Arrow. So hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there's links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page for Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. And don't forget to check out the Kickstarter for Like Father, Like Daughter issue 2. Bye.